Hello, you beautiful actors. I'm sorry, I get really into like that little funky beat, Monica. It's like, affecting me. Welcome to another fun-filled, super sassy episode of Cosmic Acting Coaches, created by the most amazing Monica Garcia that you could ever meet in all of the galaxies combined. She's a phenomenal actress, acting teacher, acting coach, filmmaker, all the things, writer, and she's also my friend. So it's really cool. I'm Michelle Tomlinson, and we're here to talk about acting. And
Yes.
hopefully we shine some light for you. Hi, Monica.
I'm Michelle, my fellow badass, actress, filmmaker. You do it all. Mom, friend, daughter. Like, you're just
We're
an incredible
multi-hyphenate
person.
chicks.
Yeah,
Likewise,
for
sister.
sure.
Cool.
So,
So acting, huh?
yeah.
The big, beautiful world of acting and
Let's
all
help
that
some
goes
people.
into it.
Yeah.
Ooh, I dig it. I really dig it. Speaking of helping people, I think that might have actually been my first passion. Like ever since I was a little kid. Not that I'm a saint. I've screwed up so many things. Let's be real. But I really always loved putting a hand out. I grew up watching my dad do that a lot, even to people he wasn't fond of.
Mm-hmm.
If he saw them in strife, he always put his hand out. So helping people is kind of like, I don't know, man, it's kind of my jam. And I know it is with you as well. Do you remember like where that really started for you? Just helping humans?
No, I think that when I was little, I wanted to do things right, so I would um, make my mother angry. You know, so it came into like a little bit of a pleaser kind of thing.
Mm.
But then I got into the I don't give a crap anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And then I wanted to help people that I could feel or sense that weren't happy or were
Yeah.
struggling, because I lived in that place for quite a while, in that energy, so, but also like
Yeah.
wanting to be a storyteller, to for people to relate or to help people learn something, not to be preachy or anything, but I think that's why we're storytellers. We like to um, give a different perspective or say you're not alone.
The "you're not alone" thing. Oh man, that gave me all the feels. We go through life and we handle so much alone.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a million times when I've had specific struggles in the past, I would scroll through my phone and be like, I don't know who to call, and felt so isolated. And I think that's part of the reason why I try really hard to uh, like love,
Mm-hmm.
dude. I'm fiery, you know that. Uh, but also, it's like, because you can't be fiery without a big bucket of love sitting in your gut all the time, too.
Right, right.
You know?
Yeah, I remember when someone came to audit my class, and she came into my office and said, your students aren't afraid of you. You're never going to do well. And I was like, what?
Oh.
Like, I wasn't going to have a lot of students and do well because my students weren't afraid of me.
What an interesting perspective. What did you say?
And I said, well, it's a new time, because we had to sing an
Yeah.
old instructor, and I think early on we took on that mentality of
Yeah.
harshness and yelling, and I've had to evolve myself as a teacher.
Oh, for sure.
But
For sure.
yeah, yeah, when you work too, when you're a working actor, and you've been a teacher for a long time, I don't. And I probably, I don't know, but there's always been this barrier between this acting teacher or this working actor and the students. And yeah, when
Mm-hmm.
you have an assistant, it's just because you're really busy and you need that
Yep.
help. But,
Yep.
all of my students have my number, and I make myself available all the time. And they're like, oh,
That's the gig.
your personal number?
Yeah. No, it's my non-personal
Well, no,
number.
I do have my business number, but
Barbie
trust me,
answers
I do
it.
give my business number to the auditors.
Right.
And tell you like, okay,
Oh man, yeah. No, it's I don't know, just using fear as a tactic or spreading your own fears as a tactic.
mm-hmm.
Ooh, like I no thanks,
Yeah,
you know? No thanks. I don't want to nah. Nah, no thank you.
yeah.
So speaking of all of this, Monica, I do have a question for you. It's something that has come up, and the word integrity is almost overused. It's like integrity and authentic and all this stuff are these hot bed words. And I would really love to know, in your perspective, on an actor's journey, how do they keep their integrity intact as they go along their path?
Mm. I think one of the big things is to not be desperate. You know, once you're desperate to work or to please or whatever the thing is, we can do things that we normally wouldn't do, or just being clear on what kind of human being you are. You know, I think when you that's why it's so important to study acting, is because you have to discover all these things. Like, I remember giving a scene to a student who he had to kiss another guy, and he was like, "Ooh, I don't think I can do this." And I said, "Okay, well, let's." And so he was able to discover that and go, "Am I? Can I do this?" I never even thought of it, and I didn't really feel like he was homophobic or anything like that. He just never even, that wasn't on his radar at all. And then he's like, "Oh, I
Mm-hmm.
don't know if I'm comfortable with this." And so, figuring out what your values are, and what you will do, what you won't do, how you see people, you really get to learn all of that, and play all of these things. Or even where you're playing a racist and you have to say certain words that
Mm-hmm.
in your life you don't say. It's not even a question, but to portray this person in this real light, this real ugliness, and shed light, not that we need it shed on at this point, but to really
Not today.
truthfully play that character. You're like, can't do I want to do this? And just, treating people the way you would in your real life, just that integrity of who you are as a person, and not sacrificing those values because you want to work, or you want to do that job, or you want to please somebody, uh, and being very centered in who you are. And I think when you study in class, you have to look at all of those things.
You discover a lot
Mm-hmm.
studying acting in classes because of all of the material you're handed and the things you really do need to kind of shuffle through and dig through about yourself. I could not agree more.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I think you're talking about the gentleman in your class who came across kissing another dude and was like, oh, here it is. This is not a thing I'm gonna do. Okay, cool. You discovered your own moral boundary, and I think that a lot of our moral boundaries, we don't know some of them sometimes until they appear.
Mm-hmm.
I just had a kid. One of my kids received a set of sides for a pretty large project, and we all looked at it and went, and she was like, this is, I'm not comfortable doing this. I am not and I was like,
Ooh.
then this is where you pass. This is now, this is your own moral boundary. Thank goodness that you are in a position with your body and your spirit and your mind to understand and recognize that this is your moral boundary.
Mm-hmm.
And the child was backed by her parents going, yep, we agree, and so it was a really beautiful moment to experience as her coach, to watch this integrity rise, this moral boundary go, no, I don't want to be portrayed that way.
Yeah.
Uh, pretty amazing for a kid too, especially. My gosh.
Yeah, and it's not wrong or right. It's just true to yourself, right?
True to who
Like,
you are.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. That's
Yeah.
really great, though. I have a question where you brought up the parents. That little girl is so lucky. Like, in
Hmm.
general, though, what if you don't have family support when you're pursuing acting? Like, how do you, because you deal a lot with younger people than I do,
Hmm.
but also as adults, how do you deal with people that don't, students that don't have their support of their family to pursue acting?
Gosh. Right. And sometimes they don't. Um, I ask a lot of questions because I don't teach by preach. I ask a lot of questions, how does this feel? How is this writing coming across? Do you understand these couple lines of actions that this is most likely how they're going to shoot this? This could open other opportunities for different camera angles. I don't know. How do you feel? How do you feel? And oftentimes, have you spoken to your manager about this? Have you spoken to your agent about this? And if they're without representation, then we get to have a really great conversation where I'm going to champion their decision
Mm-hmm.
because it's going to be an informed decision. And there have been times I've had, students go, no, I'm going to go do this thing. Cool. And I've had students go, whoa, no. Okay, cool. Where, and it's just like you said, it to each their own, like, where is this for you? I booked a film 133 years ago. The character was really fun. She was this like vapid, dippy, like dingy stripper chick. And she was just hysterically funny. And it was a horror film. And the way this character died, I was like, oh God, I cannot get around this. Uh, because it was not a way I wanted my body to be shot or portrayed on any level for any project, for anything. And so I was just so freaked out, and I couldn't figure out like how to stand in my power about it. And I had all these conversations with my representation of what do I do? What do I do? I mean, it's such a fun character because she's so dingy, but there's this thing that happens on page 86 or whatever that I just can't move around. A nudity clause came in with the contract, and I finally was like, holy hell, I have to pass.
Mm-hmm.
Like I felt really bad because I did take it, to the booking and to the nudity clause and stuff, but then I just was like, I couldn't get past how this would have been shot.
Mm-hmm.
And I bumped up, against my own moral boundary, and I apologized all over the place, and I cried, and all the thing. I felt horrible, because I was so excited about the characters. So at the end of the day, it's really important to understand that it's okay, even if you feel like a schmuck, it's okay to stand up for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Support or no support, or talk it through with your friends, talk it through with your representation, talk it through with your teachers and coaches, and really find where that is with you.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
Well, yes, all of those things, but also, I was asking just in general, if you're pursuing acting, and you don't have anybody supporting you. I have that a lot, actually. Or, um, sometimes our parents can be afraid for us. They want us to go get the career, the job, the security, and it is all this. Find an agent that and manager, your teachers, and I think the great part of studying is our classmates, finding the friends, mutual people that that get you, that have your back. Um, yeah, I've had incredible luck with representation
So,
and
yeah.
friends. I mean, you and I met in class, so just having that support, finding your tribe, your people, and go, oh yeah, my parents don't think I'm an idiot. They think I shouldn't be pursuing this, or uh, they're not helping me. They used to help me when I moved or whatever, the family support, and now they're just not supporting this. It's like, okay, well, let's find the support that you need. Like, let's go.
Right. Who gets you?
Yeah.
Who gets you? That's the best. Yeah. Like, who gets you? Your teachers should,
Mhm.
could, sometimes do.
You do.
And so do you. But there's yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, those things.
So when you do those things, and then you
You
get
said
into
doo-doo,
acting,
Monica. I just need to point that out.
what's that?
I just turned into a 12-year-old. I said, you said doo-doo, and I just needed to point that out. Sorry, I'm actually 12. Go on. I'm sorry.
Doo-doo.
Doo-doo. When you do those things, you were saying, I'm sorry.
And you're in class and you play all these different characters, but a lot of things that come up is knowing your type. How do you know your type? Because I ask people, like, what's your type? And they'll be like, J-Lo. And I'm like, okay, not what do you want to be like? We all want to be J-Lo. But what is your type? Like, how is that important and why? And how do you come across your type?
I love this question. I have, as part of some of the workshops I've done in the past, and things that I do in business consults with clients and stuff like that, is talking about your essence and how you come across. Not are you wearing, like, a shirt that says namaste on it, but like, how do you come across as a human being, and understanding that J-Lo has a specific essence, very specific essence, and finding where you are in that. Who do you relate to when you watch TV, when you watch films? How do you see yourself? And then I have a sheet, it's a couple pages long, that is filled with, what do you call it? Like jobs, right? Professions. And so I have like this sheet that I'll sit somebody in front of a group of humans in a workshop, and they just sit there silent, chilling. And then everybody in the workshop checks off like what they think that person could be profession-wise. And people often think the same things. And there might be like a random thing off here and there. And what's really weird is that you can't cheat this exercise. I tried it. I tried cheating this exercise back many years ago on was it the Actors Network, right? That Kevin West had for a while. I think it was the Actors Network. It was something Carolyn had sent me to. And they called it the Type Me Workshop. And so I went to it thinking, I'm going to snow these people. They don't, I was like 23 thinking, whatever. And I wore this like paisley long skirt. I only had a couple of tattoos at the time, so I wore this very conservative-y shirt with this paisley skirt. And, I was like, haha, they're never gonna know. Such an idiot. And this whole group of like 40 some odd people, I can't believe I'm gonna say this out loud, all picked stripper.
Oh.
Prostitute. Well, I was in my 20s. Stripper, prostitute, bartender, like an action-y type of chick who might kind of, like shank you. Just all these super, super edgy people. And that was without any tattoo showing. That was with this whole conservative-y look that I was trying to pass off. I don't know why. And everybody in that workshop, except for somebody, thought I could play a florist. I think the paisley informed them of the florist. I'm not sure, but you can't cheat your essence. And so when you say, I'm going to take a J-Lo headshot, and you do not, in fact, share that same like va va voom that J-Lo has, and that magnificent, magnetic sex appeal that she has, and that strength, and that, all the J-Lo things. If you don't share that, that headshot's going to fall flat and you're going to waste your money. So when you have people help you find your essence, and you can ask your friends, you can send out, I've had friends who sent me an email randomly. I'm emailing 15 people what they think my essence is. Would you use 5 words? You do stuff like that, and you start to pick up how people view you. And once you start to understand that, and I don't say this in a way to get caught up in how everybody views you and bada bada ba because their opinion's bigger than yours. How are you viewed is going to inform the types of headshots you're going to want to shoot, which will inform your representation, what types of jobs to submit you for. I have a friend, she's 10 years younger than me, like exact. Beautiful, brilliant woman, and she has booked more mom roles than I've even auditioned for. The only mom roles I've ever booked is like this alcoholic, like angry mom. Like a decade ago I did this, and I was like, oh wow, that's the only mom role I've ever booked. Like, it's, I am a mom. I don't drink. I don't like, it's just, and I'm a parent. And so, but those for me would be the types of edgier people oftentimes. Somebody who might cuss, somebody who might smoke or whatever. That's just part of my essence. And that's really, really important to know your essence. So doing an exercise in a workshop or in a class setting, or asking your friends and family how they view you, just as far as professions or whatever, descriptive, adjective, playable words, helps you start to form your essence. Because we all have who we want to be. Angelina Jolie. Oof. Right? We could all be Angelina Jolie. Well, who we who we want, like, to look up to. And then we have who we are. And it's really important to understand the difference and to understand how to market yourself. That was long-winded. Your thoughts, Monica?
Yeah, no, I took a class a long time ago, Sam Christensen.
Oh yeah, Sam Christensen.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's what he did. I remember asking family members, cousins, and I don't think I asked my parents, but I asked relatives, my siblings, give me. I think it was 10 adjectives, and it was all the same words came up. It was for sure. And as you get older, like, probably not like that, but do I want to be? Yeah, sure, but I could, but someone's gonna definitely do it better, because that's not my energy or essence. Like, you have to show up in that energy. Like, I'm pretty clear now on my energy and how I show up, and how I have to, like, not be so energetic when I walk into a room, so people aren't like, I'm very.
You walk in with jazz hands. Hey, what's up?
Yeah, never.
Me neither. Just so you know.
Yeah, that's the biggest distinction, right? Who you want to be,
and who you are.
Who you really are. Super important to be an acceptance of that. I'm never gonna be J-Lo, and I'm me. It's so funny, when J-Lo first started, there was a show called Second Chances, and she was one of the leads, and I was like a featured extra. I was trying to get my sidecar, and I played one of her friends that worked with her at the country club. And when she got married, I was in her rehearsal dinner. I was part of her wedding party.
Nice.
So I had pictures. I have a picture with her way back in the day when I was just starting. And
awesome.
And it was her, and I was like, wow, I am certainly not J-Lo.
And that's okay, because she is already J-Lo. I mean, my God.
It's so funny. I don't even know why
she's epic.
But yeah, it was, yeah.
Probably because she's J-Lo and she's so super badass. I'm gonna, yeah. No, I'm cool being me, man.
You're all right.
I'm good with it. I'm all right.
All right.
I make a lot of mistakes. I'm a human being. I got red blood or green or orange. I don't know, whatever. Like, whatever.
Are you kidding? You're a badass.
Bah, we're all badasses. Shabbat.
There's your information if anybody would like to contact Michelle. That's her website. right there.
There's my website. Look at you, fancy
And
pants.
if you'd like to contact me, it's Acting Artist Studio at Gmail. No, that's not right. Look at that. I put at gmail.com.
What's your email address?
Yeah, well, I just put out my whole email address.
Did you mean to put your website out?
I did.
Beautiful. You see, badasses make mistakes just like everybody else, y'all. That's how we roll out.
God. Here we go. Actingartist.com.
That's her website.
There we go.
That was awesome.
Well, Michelle, thank you so much for another great week, and I can't wait to answer more questions. And if anybody out there has any questions, please send them to us at our websites or email address,
or
and we'll answer it here.
Yeah.
And maybe we'll do a live soon, Michelle.
We must
answer live questions.
Yeah, I dig it.
All right.
All right, girlfriend. Much love.
See you next week.
See y'all later.
Wow.